So what is up YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be talking about some major Nio news that could impact the stock long term. So first, I'm going to be talking about a speech made by the president and co-founder of Nio, and his name is Kin Lee Hong. And in this speech, he goes over three main things. The first is the construction schedule of the second generation battery swap stations. The second is the plan to enter overseas markets. And the third is the development of Nio's autonomous driving technology. So first, in his speech, he goes over how Nio sold over 43,000 units in 2020, and he was surprised that they did this even during a pandemic. And he says it is a small number compared to other companies, but he is happy because this is a newer company. It was actually started in 2018. He says they were ranked 12th in sales but 4th in retail price among all mainstream luxury brands. And the reason he says this is because Nio is a luxury brand. So then he goes on and talks about the battery as a service model. So basically with Nio, you could actually buy the car without the battery, where you just lease the battery and you could actually exchange batteries at a battery swapping station. And the main reason why some people prefer battery swapping over charging is because battery swapping only takes about 5 minutes, while charging can take up to 90 minutes or even longer. And the president of Nio just says that battery as a service has been extremely popular among customers because more than 50% of their new orders want battery as a service. And basically battery as a service is where you lease the battery and you pay a monthly subscription so you could use Nio's batteries and just swap them out. So one, you don't have to wait as long to charge your car as you could just swap batteries, and two, the car is actually cheaper because the most important and expensive component of a car is the battery, and in this case you're just renting the battery and you pay a monthly subscription to use it. Then the president of Nio talks about the second generation battery swap stations, and he's saying that it will be launched in the market in March or April of this year. And this new battery swap station will have 4 times the service capacity of their first station, and it will be automatically connected to the vehicle so that the user can automatically park and charge the battery swap pool with one click in the car. And then he goes on to talk about how there are 178 battery swap stations right now, but they are expected to reach 500 by the end of the year. And in one of my previous videos, I actually talked about how Nio is partnering with a state-backed company to build 100 battery swapping stations with them. And other than that, they'll build even more by themselves, and they'll probably partner with even more companies to reach this goal. And that is one reason why they're raising so much money. So in the later part of his speech, he actually addresses a huge problem that a lot of Nio investors have. So obviously a lot of people think Nio only has battery swapping stations, which is not true. Battery swapping stations are only for some customers, and these customers want this service because it is very fast to recharge their vehicle. And this is one reason why many people say Nio can't scale, because setting up battery swapping stations will be expensive as replacing the battery and all that. Nio cars can actually charge just like Tesla, and Nio actually has its own set of supercharging stations, and they have actually installed 50,000 home charging posts for customers and built 100 supercharging stations across the country. And this includes about 800 supercharging posts. And this is one reason why I think Nio can scale, because not only can their car have a battery swapping option, but they can also actually charge their cars. And talking about scaling, the president of Nio actually talks about going into Europe. And by this, the first expectation is for them to go into Norway. And if you guys did watch my last video, I did talk about how Nio actually opened job positions in Norway, which is why I think they're first going to go into Norway. And Norway is pushing electric vehicles really hard because they do want to be carbon free eventually. Overall, all electric vehicles are being pushed really hard in Europe, which is why I think Nio can really benefit from moving into Europe. And even if their vehicle doesn't sell that well, Nio will benefit a lot from the huge electric movement in China. And then to end his speech, he just talks about how Nio is still an early company as it's only 6 years old, but he's still very happy with the progress it's made and he expects a lot more from the company. And the president of Nio talks about a lot more in his speech, but I think these were the main points, as the other points have been covered in previous videos. So now let's talk about another big news surrounding Nio. So this news is that Nio may build a second plant in Hefei, and this will be right next to the existing GAC Nio plant. However, Nio doesn't actually completely own the plants. Nio cars are actually produced jointly with a company called JAC, and this is why they say Nio's production is outsourced, because they don't actually build their own cars. JAC does. However, building a second plant is good news for Nio because every single car that Nio does make is sold right away. So the problem with Nio is the amount of production it's making, and that is why they're raising so much money. In one of its previous offerings, they did did say they'll use the money to raise its production, and that's exactly what they're doing. So as they raise production, they'll be able to deliver more cars and make more revenue. And in order for them to justify their valuation and take advantage of this current EV transition is to scale. And even if they don't build their own plants, it is important for them to increase production in order to make more revenue. And the specialty of Tesla is that they're vertically integrated in almost every aspect, but that isn't Nio. Even though Tesla's margins will be better, it is important for Nio to scale as fast as possible because of the EV transition. And that is how we'll see maximum growth for this company, and we'll see the maximum growth for its share price. So for me, it isn't really a red flag for them like outsourcing most of its production. My most red flag would be if they can't meet delivery expectations, but right now they're doing so, which is why I like Nio as a company. So I wouldn't be too worried about this because in the future they might build their own plant, but right now that isn't their focus, as they are focusing more on spending on EV infrastructure like battery swapping stations and charging stations. And in the future they may start manufacturing their own cars, but that is yet to be seen. So now let's talk about the third major Nio news. So Nio completed its offering of $1.5 billion in convertible notes. And so with this money, they could increase production and improve EV infrastructure. So as investors of Nio, or if you're potentially looking into Nio, you guys should expect these offerings to happen, either them share dilution or taking on debt, because this cash will only help them increase production and improve EV infrastructure, which in the long term will just increase their top line revenue, and it will be good for the company. Because it is important for them to take advantage of the EV transition that is happening right now, and if they don't take a lot of cash, they may not be able to do so. So you shouldn't be so worried with the amount of cash they're taking on. And they've done it in the past, and they'll only continue to do it in the future. So don't panic when they do try to raise more money. Just think of it as a positive outlook, and if it does dip, then you guys could just add more if you are a long-term shareholder of Nio. And so overall, I think this was really positive news because they're going to try to increase the amount of battery swapping stations they have, increase production, which will only improve revenue. And I also like how Nio's management is giving constant updates about what the company is doing. And with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. Also comment down below what videos you'd like to see. And thank you so much for watching.